Welcome back to Alumni Game, the show where three Gamecocks dive into South Carolina sports, football, hoops, the NCAA, everything that comes along with it.
Where our opinions are never filtered, sometimes reasonable, and always fun.
That's right. And you can check out all of those takes that we have on YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on all those platforms. Settle in, y'all, and let's get started with this week's episode of Alumni
Game! Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, you Gamecock listeners. I am not Mike. I am subbing in today. The usual Sam Niedermeyer here hosting for Mike. It's today in another episode of Alumni Game. With me as always, the man, the myth, the legend, always reasonable. It's always fun. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let you do your tagline. How you doing there, Mr. Buster Clarkson, class of '06?
Oh, man. I am feeling, I'm feeling cold. Why? Because we've gotten some cold weather here the last couple of days down here in the beautiful South Carolina. It's actually been rainy and cold, highs in the low 40s. It's a struggle for me. Thankfully, I have a little glass of warm me up. The drink of the week is a cordial. This is what we call Jamaican dram. So this stuff right here is one of my favorite things for my family. It is a liqueur or cordial, and it's made with allspice. And if you know anything about Jamaica, we love our allspice, and so it helps warm up my cold little piggies. So we're getting right to it. But I also have a beautiful lip warmer.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, after football season, you got to mix it up. You got to change things around and get ready for the spring. So I figured some of my chin needed to see some sun, and kind of do it for the ladies as well.
I mean, you look nothing short of fantastic, quite frankly. Nothing short of fantastic. I love it. I think it's a great mustache.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, question for you on that drink, right? What was it called again?
Yeah. And so this particular brand, the St. Elizabeth Dram, I've been able to pick it up at my local liquor stores here in South Carolina. So I don't know what its availability is anywhere else, but all you got to do is look for Jamaican Dram. Dram is the term they use for like a spiced cordial, I'm guessing. So this is the one that I go with.
It looks good. It looks kind of chilly out there too. Looking in your window there.
Oh, yeah, no, it is.
Chilly. So it's definitely warming you up.
Yeah, it was. I had to walk around with a jacket. I couldn't get warm. My toes were cold. My fingers were cold. My upper lip was nice and warm, but everything else was just like I'm just waiting for the spring. That's my time to shine here in the South.
At the very least, days aren't lasting nearly as short as they're getting longer. Days are getting longer, so that's some good news.
Yes, I am. Well, not today, obviously, because it was cloudy and rainy. But this weekend, actually, for the Super Bowl, we probably had about an extra 30 minutes of daylight. So, not getting home in the middle of the night like we did a couple months ago.
Yeah. I'm actually loving that the set is setting. Excuse me, the sun is setting past 5 o'clock. I wasn't a fan of those 4:30 sunrises and sunsets. I got to tell you. First off, everyone, thanks for tuning in. This is Alumni Game. It is Thursday, February 13th, 2025. Buster, we've got some news for everyone. You want to hear the good news?
What's the good news?
So we're actually going to switch up the show a little bit. We're going to make them a little bit shorter. We're going to do about 3 episodes a week, 2 to 3 episodes a week. We're going to come in on Mondays. We're going to come in on Thursdays, and we're going to make it much more consumable for everyone. Are you excited about that?
I think this is perfect because all the stuff that I got fits very well into this little shell that you have switched it up on us. So I'm liking it. I'm liking this format. We're gonna take the world by storm with this format.
I am ready to take over the world by storm. We got some topics that we're gonna talk a lot of basketball today, aren't we? We're gonna talk a lot of basketball. We got some quick hitters. We got some Hall of Fame news. I am excited. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I am Sam Niedermeyer, class of '06, as I said earlier, subbing in for Mike. I got to be honest with you. I have a new appreciation for Mike's job. I feel like I'm already way behind. He is an excellent host. Mike, we need you back, buddy. We need you back. You're taking a little vacation this week, or what is it, whatever it is he's doing. He likes to be
Yeah,
coy with his little projects. But
he's
very
busy.
he is, but very excited for him. He's actually got some really cool projects he's working on right now. So I will be the lone representative from Gamecock, New York, and we have our boots on the ground, Buster Clarkson, our in-depth reporter. Buster, let's start talking some quick news this week. We got some Gamecock news, got some Hall of Fame news. Get us started, buddy. What's on your mind?
Yeah, dude, the Hall of Fame news is probably my favorite news of this past week, and I'm going to hang on to it for a while because this came down over the weekend. Sterling Sharpe, one of the greatest to ever suit up in the garnet and black at
Excellent
Williams-Brice
Gamecock.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Excellent. Was announced as part of this year's class of Hall of Fame. So I will say this: I got into Gamecock football. Yes, I am from Columbia. Williams-Brice Stadium has and always has been in my backyard. But the attachment to Gamecock football started with Sterling Sharpe. And the reason is I was in third grade at Kaufman Road Elementary here in Columbia, technically Hopkins, but Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And he came in. I think he was visiting one of the teachers or was dating a teacher or just one of those charity things where they go visit local schools. Well, he came in and I got to meet him, and I thought he was the greatest thing to ever walk this earth. At the time, being in third grade, I didn't know what all that meant. But then when I saw him on the field, I did realize that he was the greatest thing that's ever walked this earth. His ability, his athleticism, his speed, his hands, it was otherworldly. So, seeing him getting on the Hall of Fame after many years of getting, denied, and, having his brother not only, present the award or, present his Hall of Fame status to him. It's a great video. If anybody gets a chance, just Google search or whatever search engine you have, type in Sterling Sharpe Hall of Fame. It is a video that you can definitely tell that people were cutting onions while watching. It's a great video, but Sterling even said it that he wasn't sure if it was going to happen. He was happy in his own success, but Shannon came out. If you remember, Shannon in his Hall of Fame speech said, I'm the first person to get the Hall of Fame in my family, but I'm the second best athlete in my family, type of thing.
Yeah,
and that's a testament to what Sterling Sharpe means to the NFL as one of their best wide receivers to ever play the game. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, he was drafted and played for, you guessed it, the Green Bay Packers.
I was about to say you got to enjoy him twice, right? You got to enjoy him in Willie B, and you got to enjoy him over there at Lambeau Field catching balls from Brett Favre.
Yeah, I mean, Sterling was the reason why I became a Packers fan. Before then, I was just kind of whoever was going into the Super Bowl. Like, that's who I rooted for. And then he goes
like a true 80s kid. That sounds right.
80s kid. I'm in South Carolina. We have no NFL team at the time.
Yeah, no
what
Panthers.
Am I supposed to do? There was no Panthers until '92. So, I hitched my trailer to the Green Bay Packers as soon as Sterling Sharpe came aboard. And, again, he retired early due to some injuries. I think it was a neck injury. But before then, 3-time All-Pro, led the NFL in receptions in 89, 92, and 93, led the NFL in touchdowns in 92 and 94. At Carolina, 2-time All-American, obviously, and he played, I think, only a couple years for us, and still holds the record for the longest kick return for a touchdown, 104 yards.
Ooh. That's some Bo Jackson type numbers right there.
104 yards.
I got a couple other cool things that you taught me about that I'd like to share with the audience. They are the only brother duo, him and Shannon, him and Shannon, the great Shannon Sharpe. And actually, real quick, I gotta say something about Shannon Sharpe. I know this is about Sterling Sharpe, but one of my favorite things about Shannon Sharpe was this old clip of him when he's picking up the phone and he's saying, "Somebody call the National Guard. We are killing the Patriots." Like, I don't know if you remember that old video, but he could talk. But it was really cool seeing that video you spoke of where he congratulated his brother Shannon, congratulated his brother Sterling on the field. That was really cool. I was happy to see him. So congrats to them both. Only brother duo in Hall of Fame history. And this is pretty cool too that you taught me before the show. one of four to have his number officially retired at South
Yep.
Carolina. I always, that's a good point because I think about that every time I walk into Williams-Brice and I say, oh yeah, that's right. Sterling Sharpe, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. I mean, from here on out, from the day that they retired his number, every single game that you go to at Williams-Brice Stadium or away games as well. Every season of Gamecock football from here on out, there will not be a number two on the field because that has been retired and it's worthy of retirement because Sterling Sharpe, um, one of the best to ever do it. So, shout out to Shannon and to have his brother there. As an owner of a brother myself, I couldn't be more proud to see a brother duo get the recognition they deserve. And major shout outs to Sterling Sharpe, number two greatest receiver at South Carolina.
Congratulations, Sterling. We're also proud of you in the game.
Yeah.
All of us alumni are really proud of you. Congratulations in your introduction to the Hall of Fame. That was really cool to watch on Sunday with his
Yeah.
brother. So we go from a happy note to
Yeah.
kind of a sad note. What is going on? I mean, Buster, I know we're not going to spend a whole lot of time right now because, quite frankly, a lot of people aren't Googling how good of this men's basketball team is. But I mean, could it get any worse with this South Carolina team right now?
I mean, it could get worse in the sense of we just continue to lose the conference play. But the hard part for us Gamecock fans is we saw the success that we had last year
Yeah.
with portal additions and with Talon, Michi, BJ Mack, things like that. So we saw what Lamont could do when he had a team on the floor that could produce. And it's not that again, we're not saying that we're spoiled because we haven't had real success on the hard court or hardwoods yet. But the idea was we saw the potential last year, and then this year we haven't seen that potential, and we've actually seen a regression. Our transfer portal guys have not worked out. Shamari Thomas is not the point guard that we need for SEC play. I'm not, and this is no judgment on him. He is a basketball player, and he's a good basketball player, and he's athletic. But at this level, considering like the entire SEC is pretty much ranked, I don't think he is at that capacity that he can compete with those guys. Nick Pringle, the transfer out of Alabama, we had high hopes for him. Big guy. It's just we're not seeing, and I don't know if there's a disconnect from what Lamont wants him to do and what his abilities want him to do and what he feels comfortable doing. I don't know, and that's more in the locker room conversations and stuff behind the scenes that we'll probably never know about. But what we're seeing on the court from our eyes is that a team that had some level of potential coming off of last season. You have a superstar in Colin Murray-Browles. You got some young guys like Cam Scott and Arden Conyers that like had some potential, and you're like, okay, maybe we can get this thing figured out. And I'm not saying we were going to be a tournament team, but maybe we were going to be competitive. And yes, have we had some close games? We sure have. I think was it they said the losses at home, the average margin of defeat is only 6 points. So that's 3 trips to the free throw line, and you know how bad our free throw percentage.
I mean, that's it right there. I mean, they're shooting 69% from the free throw line. So I mean, go ahead, but like that's you're not. You nailed it right there.
You nailed it too, because let me think about it. 69% from the free throw. Like you should be averaging with the worst free throw shooter on the team, probably a big somewhere in there. You should be at least at 75, 80%.
75
is 69. Yeah. And then I mean, think about this. At Kentucky this past week, we shot 33% from the field and 18% from three. 18. I mean, that's not a recipe. It doesn't matter how much effort you put on the court and how good or aggressive your defense and how much these guys have a buy-in the locker room. Those kind of numbers do not win basketball games in the SEC this year, especially.
No, I mean, you remember right around the new year. By the way, they haven't won in 2025. That's how long this losing streak is. So that sucks. We're in, the 6th or 7th week of the year. 2 games a week, right? So we haven't won in 2020 since 2024. And what was frustrating is around our holiday show, they had just beaten Clemson.
Yeah.
Colin Murray-Browles. I mean, he still looks like a first round stud. Don't
Oh
get me
yeah,
wrong. I
yeah.
mean,
There's no doubt about that.
he's going to be a first round projection. I mean, he looks absolutely terrific. He was on fire. He still is on fire. But they were getting a lot of production from guys that needed to produce. But we were still worried about the free throw percentage, and it doesn't seem to be improving. It's kind of gotten worse a little bit. I mean, when you're shooting 69% from the free throw line, you nail it. You're gonna leave like 4 points like every game. And if you're losing by six, there's the 6 points right there.
Yeah. Well, and I mean that's the thing is you kind of nailed it. Like I was at the last game we won. So, prior to the start of conference play, we played Presbyterian College, which is out near 96, Clinton, South Carolina. Great school. We played them the day before New Year's Eve, so on the 30th of December. I was at that game. I actually, as a Christmas present to a friend of mine, his wife got him courtside seats for all of us. So we sat courtside, which was cool. And we got to sit courtside for a dub. Unfortunately, we didn't realize that was going to be the last dub we were going to see for a month and a half. So, we play Ole Miss tonight. It's coming up, I think it's 7:30. Taking a look at the scoreboard right now. So there is a chance we can get our first dub tonight in conference play, but and Ole Miss, they're 7-4 in conference play. They're middle of the pack. So there's an opportunity. And this is one of those where I can't make a prediction one way or the other. I can't say that if we do this, we'll do this, and if we do this, we can win this. It's if we can put the ball in the hoop, and that's pretty much where we're at right now.
I'm looking at the schedule right now, right, of who we got ahead. So yeah, number 19, Ole Miss. Then we go to Florida on Saturday.
Florida's very good.
They're like ranked second. They're ranked third right now, right?
Yep.
So what do you think? L there, I would imagine.
Yep.
I mean, although we did play Florida tough earlier this year.
Yeah, but that's no guarantee. I mean,
it's a home game.
Yeah, so it's what I'll say this: if you're looking at teams that could potentially be a dub, Ole Miss tonight. LSU's been struggling, and
got LSU on Tuesday, so that
do we have wherever you have Vanderbilt and Missouri on the schedule? There's a chance there. If there's Georgia on the schedule, there's a chance there. Beyond that, I don't know. I think we have Texas upcoming, man. I don't see Saturday. I don't see a lot of dubs on there.
So we got Missouri on February 25th, Tuesday, February 25th at Missouri. They are ranked 21st. Is that could be a win? That could, right?
If we could take the play that we saw against Auburn earlier in the season, where we lost by 3. If you take the play that you saw when we first played Florida, where we took them down and they finally didn't get the lead until literally the last minute of the game. If you could take that and then you bottle up some field goal percentage and 3-point shooting, you have the luck of the draw. And Nick Pringle figures it out, and Jamari Thomas doesn't turn the ball over. Yeah, you can get some dubs out of there. Again, the positive spin on this is you get a win tonight, you carry some momentum and some good feelings into your next couple of games. And if you can just pull out a couple of wins out of the remaining schedule, you're not going to do anything as far as, you're automatically in the SEC tournament because everybody plays this year. You're not going to get in the NIT. You're definitely not getting into the dance. So what you do is you get a couple of wins and you say, hey, these are the things that we did well going into next year with some of the guys we got coming in, young guys, and some of the guys that are hopefully staying with the program after this year. So this is what we're going to build on, and this is how we can turn this around for next year. Same way Shane Beamer did it last year. We went 5-7 last year with the football team, and had some bad plays and some transfer guys that didn't work out and this and that. Shane Beamer went into the winter workouts last year and said, "Hey, if this tastes like shit in your mouth, then you know what you need to do to improve upon your situation and turn this thing around." And what happens? We turned it around this year. So, Lamont maybe take a page out of that philosophy book written by Shane Beamer and find the positives in the next few games in the remaining schedule. Use it to motivate you in the offseason. Make some key decisions in the transfer portal. Maybe talk to the AD about some NIL funds and what we can do to be more competitive in the SEC as far as that's concerned. And maybe you have a chance for next year. But don't
Yeah.
don't, as my dad would say, don't cut off your nose to save your face, which means in this situation, don't use this season as a dumping point for the basketball team. Forget about them.
Yeah,
Fire Lamont Harris and this and that.
that's my biggest fear is the new AD.
Yeah.
I don't think he will. I forget his name. You got the guy from TCU, right? I forget his
Yeah, Donati.
Donati. Yeah, my fear. I think he'll probably follow in suit of like Ray Tanner and Hyman and just kind of keep things stable for a few years before making his changes. But my biggest fear is they just like you said, complete retool, bring everyone in. Because I mean, you just got to be stable with Lamont for a few years. I think it's way too early to kind of call that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to play some little contrarian to you here. I'm looking at these scores, right? And we are much better at home than on the road. We're getting,
yes.
And this men's team is getting dismantled by SEC teams on the road. I mean, they're losing to Oklahoma by 20.
Yep.
Losing to Kentucky on the road by 23. I think there was another big game that we got complete. Oh, Mississippi State. I mean, they beat us by 35. Like,
yep.
They're definitely a much better team with the home crowd. So that's good that there's a lot of energy. And I've seen a few highlights. The energy is really high there. So, hopefully they do turn around. I like your idea. Like, be stable, rate the course, get a few wins. Highly doubt they'll win any in the SEC tournament. But crazier things have happened.
Well, and that's the thing, my final note on this, because, I think, this will be one of the last times we talk men's basketball until like we see some significant change that is, worthy of talking points on the podcast. But, the other thing is, if you're going to use these kind of things as motivation and how do you motivate the guys for the remainder of the schedule, take a page out of Dawn Staley's book. And we're going to get to this, Sam. You're going to definitely tell our listeners all about what happened this past weekend with Dawn Staley's team. But
big stuff.
The recovery and the mindset from what happened this past weekend against Texas, use that same philosophy. Say, all right, we're on a revenge tour. We've been slapped in the face. We've been put down. People are we're complaining about this and saying, oh, this wasn't good. We're going to show them that they were wrong the entire time. So, that's enough on men's basketball. Sam, tell us about the women's team, because, yes, we did have a loss this weekend, but I don't think it alters the course. And I think we're still in the driver's seat to get to that final game at the end of the season.
Yeah. Big stuff coming from the women's team. It's kind of going to be a little bit of bad news, but I actually think that there's actually some exciting stuff going on. So unfortunately, the women's team did lose on Sunday. They lost to Texas, number 4 Texas, I should say.
Yep.
66-62. It was a 17-game winning streak since that loss to USC late last year, calendar year, I should say. And 57-game SEC win streak also snapped. That's incredible. 57 games straight. So I think that's probably more so, it's a loss, but that tells me, hey, you can't win. You can't win 100. You're not going to win 100 games in a row in the SEC. It's just not going to happen. So it's got to end at one point. Women's team dropped to number 4 in the latest rankings. And they've tied with number 3 Texas. Texas jumped up a spot, and number 5 LSU.
And LSU,
all tied for first at 10-1. Rematch, big win for Texas. They avenged a 17-point loss in January. What's up to you, Buster? Any big takeaways?
I mean, the biggest thing is the aggressive defense from Texas. This was one of the first times in a long time that you saw a defense that stifles what we do best, which is take advantage of mismatches, take advantage of size differential. You didn't see that with Texas. Texas had 2 bigs in there that just took us down, in the paint, whether it was getting rebounds or getting putbacks or even just being able to get in your spot, receive the ball, turn around and put up a layup. So, are we always going to see a defense like that? No. Texas, they made sure that was their game plan, to be aggressive. And they knew that South Carolina, we've always been known as an aggressive defensive team under Dawn Staley. So you got a taste of your own medicine. And so, and you can't go to the rest and be like, hey, that was a little physical, because we do that too. We have to expect that. So, the biggest takeaway is this is not a symptom of an upcoming issue. It's more of just a great game by Texas. Shout out to those girls, because they played great. They played aggressive. They got their shots when they needed them. And, I think for me, Tahina Powell said it best. She says, "Hey, this is the kind of game where we get punched in the mouth a little bit. What we do is we regroup, get back up on our feet, and you know what? The next couple of teams that we play, I feel sorry for them because we're going to take our frustrations out on them. So,
Yeah.
I don't think we need to worry. Do you think we need to worry?
I don't think so. I mean, like I said, I think, basically they won 57 SEC games in a row, right? Like at some point you're going to lose a game. And the SEC women's, I mean, SEC basketball in general has really improved since when I was in school, because they are,
Yeah.
I mean, men's and women's, there's just an NBA talent and WNBA talent everywhere. And they're all in LSU, they're all Texas, South Carolina for the women's, men's, Florida's perennial powerhouse, Tennessee. They got just all Americans everywhere. So it's exciting. But then again, it's turning into something like a little bit like football, where it's dog eat dog every week. And women's basketball is no exception. It's interesting. You don't really see. I mean, you nailed it. Like I think Texas just wanted it more. They had a little bit more of a hunger.
Yeah.
I don't think it was anything more than the physical will of Texas wanting it, getting revved up by the audience, being revved up by the crowd. Don Staley said the atmosphere was great. I didn't get a chance to see it, but we're gonna have some news on that in a second. And Chloe Kitts did not have a Chloe Kitts game. She only had 4 rebounds. She's good for like 8 or 9 a game. Like I just think the rebounding, I think you nailed it on the head. Tough nose defense. They shot 36% from the field, something like that, which is below benchmark for the Lady Gamecocks. I don't think it's time to worry at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
I
don't think so.
Yeah, I think
yeah, they're going to be great. And this weekend we got number 7 UConn coming to town. So unfortunately they're going to be the first people that have to deal with that punch in the mouth. So we'll see. But hey, you know what? It was a great weekend for Gamecock fans with Sterling Sharpe getting in the Hall. Yes, we had some a little bit of downside with the basketball teams, but that doesn't change the outlook of the Gamecock program. So I'm happy where we're at. And with that, like that's our quick hitters for the week. I think we nailed it. Like we got everything Gamecock related going, and I like what we got going from this point on.
I like it too. Hey, quick question before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Back to women's basketball. Number 7 UConn. Win or lose? What do you think? Who are you taking?
We're gonna win. We're gonna win by, hey, the UConn lost to Tennessee. I think last week. They're struggling a little bit. They're not the same UConn, and we're angry. So we're gonna win, and I think we're going to cover. So
I'm excited to see if Raven Johnson's gonna have a competitive streak against Paige just as much as she had against Kayla Clark. I think that'd be a fun little matchup for her.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be a good one. So hey, listen, Buster, fabulous job today. Excellent job. I think you really crushed it. Really basketball heavy show. We don't really delve into it, but good stuff today, brother. Good stuff today. Thank you so much, guys. We're going to be back every Monday, every Thursday. Continue to follow us. Appreciate all your listeners. Drop a comment. What do you think about men's basketball, women's basketball? Where are we headed? Should we be worried? Is it time to worry about Don Staley? Lamont Paris? I don't think so, but we want to hear from you. Thank you for listening. You can follow us everywhere on YouTube, Instagram, and anywhere you have your podcast. Buster, send us off, big man. Give us a goodbye.
Guys, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time on the Alumni Game.
Cox.
Game.
Cox.